How do archaeologists find out socio-economic differences in Harappan society? Archaeologists adopted two strategies to find out the socio-economic differences in Harappan society. First strategy is study of burials. In Harappan sites, in some graves, pottery and ornaments have been found. Jewelry has been found in burials of both men and women. Archaeologists assumed that if this kind of ornaments and jewelries were buried with the dead body, that burials might be of upper class peoples and others are of ordinary peoples. The second strategy adopted by the archaeologist is study the artifact, which archaeologists further classified into two, utilitarian and luxuries. Utilitarian, objects of daily use and objects made of ordinary materials such as clay or stone come under utilitarian category. Ordinary artifacts consisted of querns, pottery, flesh rubbers and needles. Objects of luxuries were rare and made from precious, non-local materials. The technology used was advanced and complicated. Little pots of faience also were considered precious because they were difficult to make. These utilitarian and luxurious objects show the existence of social and economic variation in the Harappan society. How archaeologists identified centers of craft production? To identify centers of craft production, archaeologists usually look for four things. First one, raw material such as stone nodules, whole shells, copper ore, etc. Second one is tools, which probably used for making the crafts. Third one is unfinished objects, and fourth one is rejects or waste material. Waste is one of the best indicators of craft work. If shell or stone is cut to make objects, then pieces of these materials will be discarded as waste at the place of production. Mohenjodaro. Mohenjodaro was a tiny settlement which was exclusively devoted to craft production, including bead making, shell cutting, metal working, seal making and weight making. Among these, bead making was very important. Material used to make beads. Stones like carnelian, jasper, crystal, quartz and steatite. Metals like copper, bronze and gold, and shell, faience, terracotta or burnt clay are the materials used to make beads. Some beads were made of two or more stones cemented together, some of stones with gold caps. Shapes of the beads. The shapes were numerous: disc-shaped, cylindrical, spherical, barrel-shaped, segmented, etc. Techniques for making beads. Techniques for making beads differed according to the material. Steatite, a very soft stone, was easily worked. Some beads were molded out of a paste made with steatite powder. This permitted making a variety of shapes. How the steatite microbead was made remains a puzzle for archaeologists who study ancient technology. Archaeologist experiments have revealed that the red color of carnelian was obtained by firing the yellowish raw material and beads at various stages of production. Nodules were chipped into a rough shape and then finally flaked into the final form. Grinding, polishing and drilling completed the process. Specialized drills have been found at Mohenjodaro, Lothal and more recently at Dholavira. Nageshwar and Balakot, both the settlements are near the coast. These were specialized centers for making shell objects including bangles, ladles and inlay. Finished products were taken to the large urban centers like Mohenjodaro and Harappa. Strategies for procuring materials. A variety of materials was used for craft production. Terracotta toy models of bullock carts suggest that this was one important means of transporting goods and people across land routes. Riverine routes along the Indus and its tributaries as well as coastal routes were also probably used. What strategies Harappan taken for procuring raw materials? The first strategy taken by Harappans to procure raw material was they established settlements near the source of raw material, as Nageshwar and Balakot were established near the areas where shell was available. Shautughai was a best source of a very high-valued blue stone lapis lazuli. Lothal was near the source of carnelian. The second strategy was sending expeditions, such as they used to send expeditions in the Kshetri region of Rajasthan for copper and in Kollar of Karnataka, South India for gold. The third strategy was contact with distant lands. Recent archaeological finds suggest that Copper was also probably brought from Oman. Chemical analysis have shown that both the Omani copper and Harappan artifacts have traces of nickel, suggesting a common origin. Also, a large Harappan jar coated with a thick layer of black clay has been found at Omani sites. In Mesopotamian texts, mention contact with regions named Dilmun, Magan, and Meluha. Dilmun was probably Bahrain, Magan perhaps a name for Oman, and Meluha possibly the Harappan region. They mention the products from Meluha: carnelian, lapis lazuli, copper, gold, and variety of woods.